y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Stacy. I am a Scentsy consultant, and I did receive a Scentsy Go that's going to be available on September 1st as a part of attending my first ever SFR, which is Scentsy's annual conference where they launch the new catalog and talk about the whole year. I have put this thing through its paces. I do have experience with the current Scentsy Go, that's the light up version, and I use 2 mini fan diffusers in my car, which is the primary mode of pod use that I get. I also have a tabletop fan diffuser that I use. So I'm going to talk about how this compares to all of those things. This is, in my opinion, the most modern design that we've seen. And one of the things that I noticed straight away is how intentional they were with not having extraneous buttons. It's just very smooth and sleek, and everything you need to run the device is handled with the twist top here. So to unlock it completely, to load and unload it, you just kind of turn it all the way to this dot that is to the far right, and it holds 2 Scentsy Go's in here. You can put one in, you can mix and match. This is pretty standard on the tabletop fan diffusers as well as the Scentsy Go's. One distinguishing feature of this is the Scentsy Minis that I use in my car, you can really only put one AirPod in there. So to lock it back, you just make sure to line up the line that exists on the top of the lid and then move it to this second dot, the second one over here, and it's completely locked and secure and not on. So that's just the locking position of it. This is the first Scentsy Go that can take batteries, so you can use 2 AA batteries to power this device. You can also power this Scentsy Go by using the provided USB cord. A big change here is that this Scentsy Go is not rechargeable. So the other Scentsy Go, you could use the USB cord to recharge it, but it did not keep the power on. With this Scentsy Go, this power cord is a power cord, so it will not recharge it, but it will run the device, so it would have to stay plugged in. 2 noteworthy things about the power cord. The first is with this end. This is a very secure attachment, but it does not go flush. So the white part of the cord doesn't touch the actual Scentsy Go. There is a little space, yet it's still very secure and does not come out even when I had it in my car. And with this end, it's important to remember that when you plug it in, you use a power block that is for power, not for charging and recharging, because this is battery operated and then powered by that cord. There are some extension cords that literally say on there, and also some car ports that are USB that just say specifically for recharging, and they will not power the device. So it has to be a USB power port that you use. Now, the next thing that I'm going to talk to you about is the 2 different settings here that it has. This has an eco mode and then a standard mode. So the first setting is eco mode, and I'm going to just turn it here to eco mode. This little green light will come on, and I'm just going to let you listen to the fan really quickly. For me, I barely hear this, even when it's pulled right up to my ear, and certainly when it's in a space and I'm walking around, I don't particularly pick up the sound at all when it's on eco mode. I can tell a distinct difference between eco mode and standard mode as far as power. I would say when I have this on eco mode, it took about 15 more minutes to fill the room that I had placed it in. That was not true in my car. I don't know if that has to do with the fact of just kind of proximity to the Scentsy Go that I sit when I have it in my car, but I found both modes to really very quickly, almost instantly, fill up my vehicle, which was pretty fantastic. On eco mode, I feel like as far as in room spaces, it fills the room faster than the original Scentsy Go, the rechargeable one, but perhaps a little bit slower than the tabletop fan diffusers. The second mode is called standard mode in the manual, and I'm just going to click it over here because there are some performance changes, but before I get to discussing it, I'm going to let you listen. The first difference that I noticed is a slight uptick in the sound. I do hear the fan when it is on standard a bit louder, but it's not disruptive or disturbing to me. So, on either setting, I don't find it to be obtrusive. And I took this thing to multiple homes, multiple spaces throughout the week, and it was not anything that created a sound that was remarkable or notable. What was remarkable to me was that in every space that I tried on both settings, I was able to get really solid, good, strong fragrance from the Scentsy Go. That was not and is not my experience with the rechargeable Scentsy Go. So, from a perspective of fragrancing a space, I do think on eco mode and on standard mode, this device does a superior job to the Scentsy Go, and in some cases, superior even to the tabletop fan diffuser in fragrancing a space. And part of that is because it is so portable. Like I was in a larger room visiting friends and we wanted to try it out. And because this was able to not be plugged in, we were able to place it in the center of the room. And in that space, that really allowed the fragrance to kind of shock us all with how well it filled the space. There is something really valuable, particularly with pods, in being able to not be plugged in and not attached to a wall. I did want to point out I used Arctic Kiss as well as Cherry's Jubilee. So I tried the Scentsy Go with multiple fragrances. Each time, though, I did use two pods in it because I feel like that's what it was designed for. I know you can dial up and dial down the fragrance, but I used both of these and I found they both performed beautifully and consistently. So I would say with Arctic Kiss and Cherry's Jubilee, I did not find a difference in time as far as how long it took to fill the space. I think the primary difference is the power mode. So it will take a little longer if you're on eco mode to get to that kind of room filling fragrance. But for me, it did not take greater than 20 minutes to fill any of the spaces that we went in. And in most cases, fragrance was apparent in under 5 minutes. So, really a great room filling device. One of the things that I do have my eye on that I have not experienced yet is how performance will change as the batteries get close to the end of their lifespan. I will say I don't note a difference between how the device performs from a power differential when it is plugged into the wall versus when it has batteries. But just logically, I feel like as the batteries wane and die, so too might performance be impacted. And I have just not had it long enough to experience needing to change the batteries. I did run this consistently on its battery power for 4 days and it's still going strong. I don't think that that's necessarily a statement on the device itself because that I think has a lot to do with battery life and the battery that I've selected. So I am interested and I'm going to continue next week to try and just leave this device on, like constantly on, so I can try and discover if, as the batteries die, if performance changes or if performance stays consistent and then the battery just dies. But so that's something that I'm interested to see. I will say again, I don't notice a difference in power or performance when it's plugged into the wall versus using the battery. I think the device does benefit from using battery because of that portability aspect, as far as you do not need to have proximity to an outlet. So, the example of when I visited my friend's home, that they have that very large room, we could put it in the absolute center of the room very easily. You could put it in your gym bag. You could put it anywhere that you need fragrance. So you can really just solely think about airflow of a room. Also on the go, in a bag, really anywhere. That portability really does make this unit unique. Thank you guys so much for watching along with me. I can't wait to hear what you think about this. Be sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so we can stay in touch. And check out the links in the description for more information on ways we can connect. Thanks again.